by the way. It's bull crap yesterday. Ridiculous. Am I on?
You're on.
There were fat jokes hurled at me. Broadsides. What's it called when you throw just blanket insults at people? It's called blamlisms.
What?
Yeah, these are all lies. Somehow the chat worked with Second City Improv all for the last 7 months, unbeknownst to me, and came up with all the best.
I don't know. All I know
freaking
about
fat jokes of names of bands that I've ever heard, and it's bull crap. And this is like, there's no way they came up with this crap.
I know about what happened after I left yesterday is that the Twitter criticism was harsh. Mickey Featherstone on Twitter writes, I love the Burn Barrel Pod, but is there anything worse than a solo Tom Shattuck performance? From the reading half of a comment in the chat and then mumbling the rest. Or the lack of attention to the actual show. It's horrible. Please, Alex Shattuck, don't leave him unsupervised.
How dare you?
Todd, who's been listening since really episode 1, writes, have Tom Shattuck revisit his Roadhouse podcast pre-Alex Shattuck if you want to see Rock Bottom. I believe that is called, you can search that up. That is the Gen X Needed a Life Preserver. That's the name of that episode. And you can find that. That's a nice early episode.
Why? Because your French fries are drowning. That was huge. That was Cobretti, Marion Cobretti saying that to, what's her name? Irving Berlin, whatever her name was.
John in Greenwood writes, I thought I should have did more reading, got canceled too soon.
Great podcast, not my fault.
Tommy in New Hampshire said, if Tom Shattuck is disaster free, I'm out. Bring it on just the way it is.
It is. That is, he's using a flourish of descriptor words to say that the show is better without you.
Melissa Gorman is completely out on Tom Shattuck as a music aficionado. Was teetering with Glass Tiger stuff, but the sax in Satisfaction pushed me over the edge.
It's a sax.
Tripe-eating musical fraud.
How dare you? What would tide you?
And Live Dead Van writes, I sense a stick to politics take coming from soon from someone. Tom riding the precipice that is the third rail is the best Tom. His white casseroles comment in the Boom episode was peak, nearing self-admission to the Tim Walls day camp.
Mind your own damn business. That is incorrect. And by the way, Satisfaction. It's funny because the International Tribunal of Smartasses is on the chat and is listens, and they all know it wasn't. They all know it wasn't.
When I said that you were drinking Banana Happy Dads because they asked what cereal brought you for beers.
Yeah.
Splash said, and we thought Tom was over this I don't like girls anymore thing. Tom and Tim Walls in a meadow having a picnic drinking Banana Happy Dads.
That is incorrect. That is
Spooning,
incorrect.
Says Tommy.
Spooning, Jesus. That's terrible. I am, first of all, if I was going to spoon with a guy, there's no way. I don't think that's my thing. There's no way. First of all, what do we do with Tim? How do they find an in the closet guy? It's like, oh, it's so old school.
I don't know what this is really about because I don't really know anything. But what is everybody talking about saxophones for? Because you said you like the saxophone and get no sax.
I don't like saxophone in anything, Alice. I was happy when Clarence Clemens died. I celebrated it. I hate saxophone in everything. But the fact is that Brian Jones plays the sax in Satisfaction. And these people think that this is an instrument from 1964. Hold on, Morgan. Hold on. Where is that? Hold on. How many times is this going to happen? Okay.
Was that a saxophone?
No, there's no sax in Morgan's music.
Okay, just check.
This is sax.
Oh.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
You hear it?
I hate, though, and I'm like bad at brass instruments because I was like a violin kid, but so I don't really know that much about them, but I will say I won't let my kids pick the saxophone as their instrument for brass for band for school.
It's rubbish.
Mostly because Bill Clinton played it, and I judge it, and it seems like tacky to me. I don't know why. I like play a real instrument. So they're limited to flute, trumpet, clarinet. In
The
my
sax
opinion.
is
I'm like a jerk,
flawed
but-
instrument because it's always clogged. The sax is clogged. There's 5,000.
Well, doesn't it have like a
There's
reed and a
5,000
brass?
pounds of air pressure going into it in one kazoo level output.
Well, I think that's
It's
because it has a
rubbish.
reed, right?
What if it's got a reed? It's got an a-hole. It's got a spit thing. Sax blows. It blows. It's not a real instrument. It sucks. It shouldn't be on Baker Street. It shouldn't be on anything that on Here I Am on the Road Again. That thing should be nowhere. It is sucks. I know that Steve Merrick loves it because it's in No, I'm Never Gonna Dance Again. I think it's in the middle.
So
of
Showman 74 says sax is a woodwind.
No, it's not. It's brass, for frig's sake.
Well, no, but it has a reed. That's why it's a woodwind.
Really? You can have a brass woodwind?
Because it has a reed. It's like a weird
Stop saying it has a reed.
instrument. But that's what makes it a woodwind. That's what a woodwind means.
Doesn't make it. Okay. That's fine. Well,
They're saying it's not in Satisfaction.
it's in Satisfaction. It's a weird steampunk woodwind
Phil
instrument.
says no effing way there's a sax in Satisfaction.
Phil, what is this instrument? Okay, know-it-alls. What is that instrument? How come it made no appearance in any Stone song?
Cliff Snavely says a quick Google search shows that it is a sax in the song played by Bobby Keys.
Here we go. Goddamn right, Cliff. F you all. The rest of you, all of you liars and the miscreants.
I don't know anything. I'm
Right.
sorry.
That's correct. Well said, Cliff. Well goddamn said. It is an absolute sax. It doesn't take much to notice that. God damn it. All right, Alice. Yeah. All right. Where are we now? What was it? What else were we saying? There was no topic. So it was off.
Morgan says he loves a good sax. So,
Oh,
there you go.
Morgan. You know better, man. You're a strings guy. You're a guitar guy. You know sax blows.
Timmikin says sax is a weird steampunk woodwind instrument.
Correct. There's no reason for sax at all. It's a weird. There's nothing worse.
But Timmikin says the fact stands that Jones did not play sax on the song.
Yes, he did.
Well, Cliff Snavely says it was played by Bobby Keys. So
But okay.
I'm just reading you the chat. I don't know.
AKA Brian
anything.
Jones.
Is that the same person? I don't
Yes.
think it is. I think our music criticism show is having trouble getting off the ground.
No.
Tommy New Hampshire says, back away from the Stones, get back in your yellow submarine. I feel that's an attack on the Beatles, who I actually really like, so I don't like that. But, I saw the Stones live.
Wow. The corporate entity that is the Stones with 17 other players
Mick Jagger was in it.
actually playing the instruments. Actually, right now, I bet you there's videos probably recently of them playing where they actually show the saxophone player, because there's 17 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I've seen the Stones, I think, twice.
Yeah. He even learned a couple words of Serbian, and he said, Dobro večer, Belgrad. Well, he did it with a worse accent than that, I think. But
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
The Stones did a lot of good music. They did a lot of crap music. Anything after 1981 is rubbish. It's funny because they actually showcase the rubbish. There was a movie that showed the making of Steel Wheels, and it's Mick and Keith, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just play the C and J," and then it's like, "All right, mate, we'll just play the," and they're like, the button your shirt, baby, button your coat out. All right, mate. It was like rubbish. And they put it out there like there's public fodder. They just stopped trying. It's fine.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
There's nothing that's happened to me. I see what you did there. Okay, we can have a Jedi war of cliched put downs. Oh God, what's up with you?
Nothing.
At least I'm feeling a little better.
I'm great. I'm glad you feel better.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I got in trouble for using the chat yesterday, so you're gonna be yelled at for that too.
What do you mean using the chat? Because
Use the
you
chat.
don't know how. You yell at me every time I look
Yell at
away
you.
from you for a second to look at the chat and what they're saying so that I can feed comments back into the show and help the content.
No,
And
Elsa, no.
when you
The-
do the
the-
show and I leave,
the
you
sh-
just read the
No.
chat and you're like,
The chat should not. Alice, the chat should not be a way to escape from me. I am passing the ball to you. It is flying into the stands, and you're like, "Oh, look at this! Oh my goodness!"
Whereas when
Well
you're
done.
here and I'm not here and you just read the chat live while other people don't see anything happening because you read half a comment and then trail off into giggles.
Dare you. Dare you. Did you not see my grok description of me and my show?
Can I read this, actually?
Please do.
So this morning, because remember a few days ago, Tom asked me how AI could help him with his show. So I was trying to like help him see. Let me see if it's in my history here or if yeah, here we go.
Oh.
So I asked it, Shattuck's show thrives. Here we go. So I asked Grok, right, on Twitter, what do you know about radio host Tom Shattuck? And it tells me Tom Shattuck is a seasoned conservative talk radio host, podcast personality, and media figure based in Melrose, Massachusetts.
I like that figure. It's like star, celebrity.
He is a figure.
Yeah, he's a figure. Technically, there's like his business card says he's in the...
He mostly has a Twitter account, which is why Grok knows about you.
Right.
Known for his sharp wit and irreverent style.
There we go.
He's carved out a niche in New England's media landscape.
I like this niche stuff. Niche?
In New England's media landscape.
I don't like that.
With
I don't like the niche. It's like right next to the spotted dick in the grocery store. There's Tom Shattuck's show. Yeah, I guess we're both niches.
Acquired taste. With a career spanning radio, print, and digital platforms. Here's what I can tell you about him.
Technically true.
Here's what I can tell you about him based on available info as of March 20th. Shattuck currently hosts the Tom Shattuck Show on WTIC News Talk 1080 in Hartford, Connecticut, airing weekdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Close.
Yeah, not really, but that's fine. You can
listen to me at 10. It was at one point.
Listen to me at 10. I'm going to sound a lot like Brian Kilmeade, but you can...
But
listen.
I'm sure that information that you're on from 10 to 2 is out there somewhere.
Yes, it is out there. Yes.
He joined the Odyssey on station in June of 2021, correct, filling a midday slot that opened after Rush Limbaugh's death earlier that year. The move marked a shift to local programming for WTIC, and Shattuck broadcasts mostly from his home in Massachusetts.
I would edit that sentence, too. Those two things kind of offset each other immediately.
I mean, you're more local than Rush Limbaugh.
But, that's a good point. That's a good point. Can I just say, by the way, it is Alicia's birthday.
Good job, Alicia.
What?
What? Happy birthday, Alicia. Like, what do you want? What am I supposed to say?
I mean, something heartfelt about our friend,
They're
Alicia?
great. Alicia's great.
Good job, Alicia. What the frig is wrong with
Morgan and Alicia are having mushrooms for Alicia's birthday.
Are you jealous of Alicia because she's hotter?
Yes, that's what it is. Can I finish reading about
Morgan,
you?
I didn't see this come. I don't even know what this... There's been no negative talk ever about Alicia, other than the fact that she's awesome, fun, and attractive. Like,
what's the problem? I'm trying to read my thing about my husband.
It's Alicia's day, not my day.
Let's see. You broadcast mostly from your home in Massachusetts?
Okay.
His show tackles politics, culture, and local issues, often with a conservative slant and a knack for stirring debate.
Okay.
Think guests like Jim Jordan discussing DOJ probes.
That was recent.
Or Jerry Callahan weighing in on Tim Walz's masculinity.
Ooh, that was yesterday.
Before WTIC, Shattuck's radio creds included stints in Boston's competitive talk scene.
Did it?
From 2004 to 2008, he was digital content director and executive producer at WRKO AM 680, the city's talk and Red Sox flagship.
I'm surprised that says that. It's got to be a
Your
LinkedIn
resume
thing.
has to be public or somewhere. Yeah, maybe LinkedIn or whatever. He then jumped to WTKK 96.9 FM as executive producer and afternoon co-host from 2008 to 2013. Bantering with Michael Graham and producing the Fisher House Radiothon for veterans.
That is true. I want credit for that. That was good.
When WTKK flipped formats, he pivoted to the... You pivoted.
I pivoted to the unemployment line.
Your wife made you get another job is what pivoting is. A euphemism for, I guess. He pivoted to the Boston Herald, taking on roles like executive producer of Boston Herald Radio, senior columnist, and eventually editorial page editor. True. His show, Press Time on Herald Radio, dug into media bias in the Trump era, reflecting his skepticism of mainstream narratives.
That is true. This is actually better than I thought it would be. We don't have to keep going with this, Alice. I don't know that it's entertaining. I like it. I mean, some of it, like the cold cup of coffee. I like it. But anyway, do this for yourselves too, guys. It's very fun. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Or do you want to?
What are we ready for?
We're gonna do the show now. It's time for the show.
Oh, we're 20 minutes in. You know.
I know. Well,
Okay.
now it's time to commit ourselves to the show.
All right.
Okay. Unless, I mean, you do want to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is okay. So here's where I am. I am convinced more than ever that we now have a situation in this country where the Democrats have created, with all of their input over the years. Remember, everything they did with George Floyd, COVID was just what they used to get rid of Trump. So it was doomsday scenario. They've been doing climate justice stuff, doomsday scenario. The George Floyd stuff, doomsday scenario. That, in other words, so black people know that the cops are going to go out there and just shoot you because that's what they're into. It's all doomsday scenario. Now they're out there saying that.
Did you see this chick that Phil sent us an email, by the way?
I'm not sure.
I'll send this link. That's fine. Keep going with what you're saying.
And it's all, and so now it's like Medicaid, Medicare, doomsday scenario. They're going to take it away. You're going to die in the streets. And this is rather than have any actual, rather than have any actual like debates over anything. It's all doomsday scenario. It's all Trump wants to kill all of the immigrants. Doomsday scenario. It's never like a cogent argument about the size of anything, government-wise, about like anything else.
No, this is this chick. I think you're gonna like her. I just sent it from the Burn Barrel podcast to you and me on Twitter. I think you're gonna enjoy this lady. She's a Canadian MP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think you'll like her.
Well, can I get to play another one before I get to her? Because
Sure.
Rudy sent me something that actually it kind of hits the spot when it comes to this stuff. I think he did. Is it Rudy? Where is it? And
Can you push that camera, by the way?
Which camera?
That one. Thank you.
My pleasure. So I just want to play this for a moment. This is some chick talking, and who is very upset. Oh, God dang it. Come on, Rudy.
I think women are like at the forefront of the mental health crisis for
totally.
sure. For sure.
Well, totally. And I think a lot of it is that they have been told, everybody's been told and ginned up. And remember, these college-educated women are the ones who are mostly going nuts here, right? And so these are the people who mostly trust the establishment to tell them what to think and what to do. And they want their validation from the establishment. They want to be told, good job, nice job, you did a good thing, that's smart, you're doing well. They want acceptance, right? That is the whole thing here. And they have been told by these people who they want acceptance from that indeed, no, you're not, things aren't all right. In fact, things are terrible. Stop looking for acceptance and start concentrating on the fact that things are terrible. And that you've got, they've been told in high school and in college and at the workplace and wherever they are, in every corner, that things are terrible and things are catastrophic and you're going to die or be seriously hurt. And so they have very little release from this stuff either.
Yeah.
There's like no way to escape it. And so you've got these people who go on and they are just broken. Just broken. Let me find this. Hold on.
If you can't find that one, you can play the one that I sent you, which also fits this theme, if you would like to.
Is it from Terrence K. Williams?
No, it's from Wide Awake Media.
Okay, I'll play it in a second. Here we go. Let me play this first, okay? This is a woman who's not dealing with stuff well, but just think about the influences she has in her life.
I live in Florida, and I'm gay, non-binary, and I had a call today with my psychiatrist, and I've been seeing him since 2009, and we went over my medications, and he...
2009, that's 16 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We went over my medications. Once again, here we go.
He asked me how I've been feeling lately, and I told him I've just been so sad and scared. And he told me that it's a safe space. I've been seeing him since 2009, and this is the first time I've come out to him.
Come out as what?
He shared that he has transgender nieces, and that they're moving to Colorado for safety. And he asked me what I'm doing to prepare. And I told him I'm in the process of starting to get my passport. He asked me where I want to go, and I said I don't know. But I hope Canada, because I've always wanted to live in British Columbia. And he asked me, you know, what about your parents? Because they're down here, and he knows that I moved down here for them. And I explained that they're MAGA extremists.
Oh my God, not MAGA extremists.
So, and this is, just think, every influence she has in her life, every input is with these thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just women, it's mostly women, but it's guys too. We've had our own neighbors next door are having these same things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking about how Jackie Robinson was the web page of him that was the web page at the Pentagon. Nobody, I know that all the people I know in the world go to pentagon.gov.notables.baseball and usually spend their time. That's usually everybody's homepage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jackie Robinson wasn't there for 5 minutes, and everybody's like, Jackie Robinson, oh my God, it just shows you.
Yeah, well, we all forgot about Jackie Robinson because he wasn't on that webpage.
It's all unhinged stuff, like totally unhinged stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all they have. That's all they have, and that's all they see. And it's really like it's amazing. It's amazing that this is widespread. And like, so what you have now on the left is you have grifters who are just making money, don't care. The climate grifters, the city grifters, the people taking, the people who usually pay for all or get government money for all of the protesting, etc., which is now washed up. It's all grifters and psychos, and that's what it is. So this is what Al sent me. Canadian MP Laurel Collins, who so far, by as quick glance, I am a fan of. I'll tell you that. Yeah, we are a fan of.
Start off by addressing one of the comments that was made by the witnesses around climate hysterics. Hysteria, it refers to something that is wildly emotional. It comes from the Greek word womb, of the womb. It is used in ancient Greek to refer to things associated with women. And I hope you'll forgive me if I get emotional.
But by the way, her hair is like, looks like she was just ravaged. We are a fan.
Climate emergencies are not gender neutral. The degradation of ecosystems disproportionately impacts women and girls. And I am wildly emotional. This is the existential crisis of our time. And to hear that we're asking for high ambition is climate hysteria, that makes me wildly emotional. Absolutely. You know, when I think about my womb, you know, the 2 children that I bore from that womb and what future we are leaving them, I am wildly emotional. And it's not surprising to hear this from someone who has written articles that are pro-life. I think that we need to think about the intersection of gender and the climate crisis. And I hope that the people around this table and the people listening will refrain from using language like climate hysteria. We are facing a climate emergency. I want to start.
You like her?
Oh, yeah.
Well, but this brings me to, because I saw this comedy song on my Facebook today. I sent that to us too in the same chat. Which, do you know what hysteria used to be a disease that they diagnosed women with medically?
I didn't know, but it makes sense to me. Let's go back to that.
Well, do you know what the treatment for it was?
Was this the orgasm machine?
Yeah, this is how they invented vibrators.
Oh, really? Oh.
Because this was the treatment for hysteria, was that if you were like had too much anxiety and stress, you would go to the hysteria doctor and he would use the vibrator on you until your hysteria cleared up.
Oh, I see. I see. I don't know where we are on that.
So, but wait, play this comedy song that I saw on Facebook today.
Called hysteria.
There once was an affliction that just affected women, a mysterious disease called hysteria. It was when women had opinions or moods or needs or anything in that awful area. In 400 BC, Hippocrates, yeah, that guy whose oath we still use, said it was caused by a wandering uterus that moved through your body and made you a bitch. In the Middle Ages, they said our wombs were possessed by demons, but you could get rid of those evil spirits by sneezing achoo, and if not, you were a witch. Makes sense.
I agree with this.
In the 1800s, they discovered something brand new only a psychiatrist was qualified to do. They massaged your vagina till you shook, that's the cure. They called it paroxysm and said it wasn't sexual. The women were probably like, sure. Therapy today is expensive and taxing. Not having to work on yourself sounds relaxing. Instead of evolving and changing your ways, you go to the doctor, they make you come, and then your husband pays. I want to be a hysterical woman in the 1880s.
Okay. I mean, so women are psychos is the lesson here. It's just
Well, I think the song's not freaking wrong. Like, do you think therapy now works better than a vibrator did in the 1880s?
No.
Like,
No.
realistically?
I think when you've got, I mean, it's
When
the problem
women
is,
are having climate hysterics, literally, and then defending it in the Canadian Parliament, what do you think would work better? A lot of talk therapy? Or
these people are all caught
the
in the
1880s
matrix
treatment
of overly credentialed establishment grifters. And so, like, all these psychologists are all psychos. They're all anybody, most people who went to colleges are psychos. I'm sorry. And who have masters or are physicians and have the name doctor in front of them are psychos. Anybody who calls you an auto call and says, "Hi, it's Dr. Kantrovich here. Just to let you know, school's going to be 2 hours late," is a psycho. Anybody who says doctor at all because they have the doctorate is a psycho. These psychos are everywhere. Everywhere. The problem is this. The problem is we're too far gone from World War II. We're too far gone from that generation of people where when somebody was like, you know what we'll do? We'll have men in dresses go read to little boys. And the guys from World War II, if you mention that 1950, would just beat the crap out of you. And so that was suppressed. It's not suppressed anymore because the boomers decided, not all the boomers, I don't want to indict listeners we love.
okay.
But many of the boomers decided that the boomer age was the age of enlightenment. They decided they invented sex, they invented the orgasm, they invented marijuana, they invented drugs, they invented everything, they invented all music, and it's wrong. They didn't. They didn't do anything, but they had parents who, because they saw their friends' brains get exploded on Omaha Beach next to them, those parents decided, I want to save my kid from all of this. I want his life to be better than mine was when I was 17. And so they cleared the path and they said, okay, yeah, you are special. That's fine. This is a psychotic behavior. It's this country has a mental health crisis. The problem is that the media that would tell you this
is also having a mental health
exactly,
crisis.
exactly, which is exactly the point, Alice. So, in other words, this is the key to everything we've always said, and I believe this occurred on Burn Barrel Podcast Episode 1.
2 more hogs got the fever.
I think he talked
Everybody's
about that.
got the fever.
People are
2 more hogs got the fever.
pronunciation of Omaha.
Did I say Omaha?
Omaha, yeah.
Omaha?
Omaha Beach.
Yeah.
Generally, yeah.
Omaha Beach. Omaha Beach? What's Omaha? I don't know.
I don't know.
So anyway,
People
that's the
in the
thing.
chat are disturbed by it.
2 more hogs got the fever. Everybody's got the fever.
Mhm.
That's the problem. Not everybody, but many people. Like even like Bill Burr now, who I don't care that he's a progressive. Then that's fine. But what tells you he's got the fever is that his mind is taking low level IQ takes now, and it's just that it's for a guy who's so original and funny. For him to say, "Oh, you're effing racist," doing "See, Kyle." So your mind that was brilliant a few years ago is now just as smart as Joy Behar's mind. That's what makes you have the fever. It's not just being a progressive. You can be a progressive and believe. You can be Glenn Green.
Well, we saw the other day you had on the Menners network show
Mm-hmm.
when Menners was surrounded by 3 people who are ostensibly like conservatives
Yes.
and said a bunch of liberal shit and like nobody challenged him and like fine. But there's smart people and stupid people of all political stripes,
Sure.
right? So it's like it's not about smart or stupid. Like there's smart liberals. And
Of
there's
course.
tons of stupid conservatives. Like
Sure.
they're all out there. It's fine. It's
Yes.
fine. I mean, like, and I don't begrudge their votes for Trump just because they're stupid either. Like, that's fine. That's great. But I think the point is that there are some ways where you can, on either side, like go completely off the deep end and just become a nut job.
Mm-hmm.
Like on either side. And like sometimes people do it in a way that is like so destructive, right? And that's the Bill Barr thing. Or, you know, like on the right, you see somebody like Mike Lindell who was like selling pillows left and right and then just becomes crazy.
Well, did he become crazy?
I
don't know.
think a little. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, there's crazy people on the right. You don't think there's crazy people on the right?
Of course I do.
The problem is that the crazy people on the left are like on mainstream television and accepting Academy Awards and stuff.
Exactly.
So it's there's no parity because even completely reasonable mainstream people on the right are treated like total pariahs. So there's no comparison because I mean the left has absolute lunatics on mainstream television every single day with zero pushback.
Everywhere. Losing.
No
their
one's like, actually, you're just an absolute lunatic. This is crazy.
Yes.
Like they have The View on every day, do they not? That's a daily TV
Yes.
show. That, like,
And it's a new hysteria every day. And it's going to be on Facebook. and it's got to be out loud. And it doesn't matter if anybody sees it. And it's like it's all the same thing. Like it's all every profession has it. There's nobody who's above it. There used to be a time, and this is actually I use my own mother to describe this. My mother was like a woman who liked stoic men.
mm-hmm.
So she loved Joe Petroni from Airport 77. You remember that? It was George Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
She loved Trapper John M.D. She loved like all these guys who were men's men, sober, intelligent. And she was huge into these. Even like Jim Rockford Files. Remember that? Thomas Magnum. You
No.
probably remember that. No. Okay, fine.
Is that Magnum PI?
Yeah, it is. So
Okay.
all these. So she liked, and she liked those shows, and she liked the idea of very handsome, stoic, strong, smart, sober, disciplined men.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I think that most women like that. Tell me what to do. Tell me where to be. Tell me how to be the best I can. But the thing is that those men, Jim Rockford now, is a psycho trans advocate. They're all psychos. So these women, their compass is just gone. It's like, just, It's just crazy. Crazy. And so that's where we are. Should we do the...
I guess we should jump to the chat. The live chat is
Go
all
ahead.
over the place. All over the place.
Wow.
Flash
look at
says
this.
Tom looks like a dude in his 50s who drinks something called Banana Happy Dads. Wait, there's a reference here.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Tom looks like a chief petty officer on a submarine in 1978.
First of all, who's that?
That's Tim and Canton. Good look. Get on that, Alice. And Tommy New Hampshire's a petty thief officer.
What the hell is it? First of all, the
Morgan
freaking...
says you look like Harvey Weinstein's older brother.
Fuck you. Oh. First of all, the freaking... I'm so... Hold on, Alice. I'm so glad that the chat is now the freaking groundlings. This working off each other, doing improv left and right. Like it's amazing how good these people are.
Splash says the grizzled chief petty officer who's questioning his morality in the face of an ever-changing submarine warfare mega industry.
Frig is this coming from? Is this everybody AI now? Is
Tim
dropping
and
dropping
Kansas, chief of the boat, what's our status? And the galley is out of lobster tail, sir.
Freak is going on here, Alice? Did I pass?
Captain, we're getting closer. Is one line sitting in front of the radar? Another IMDb credit.
F you. Woe betide all of you, obviously.
Chief Shattuck, McHale's Navy.
How does this happen?
What's that mean? I don't even know.
McHale's Navy is an old
No,
show. It's a
mean.
PT boat, and Gomer Pyle was in it, who I was oddly texting Michael Graham about.
Tommy in New Hampshire says you look like Aqualung.
I don't know the Aqualung, but you mean dun 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 Aqualung. Okay, let's see. Images, Aqualung. I don't see Aqualung. Is that a person? Is that the guy? Is that the guy who's grabbing people up around here? Actually, I think.
McCann says, Chief, the towers aren't cooling. I get it. Did you know the Stones played sax on Satisfaction?
Wait, are you talking about George Kennedy now? What is going on? What are they talking about?
I don't know what it means.
Demand an answer, Ellis.
What do you mean? I'm just reading comments.
I don't know any chief petty officers. How do we get into the Navy?
It's the submarines are in the Navy.
I understand they are. How do we get into the submarines, Alice?
You're a chief petty officer.
How do we get into chief petty officer, Alice?
That's what they said you look like.
Oh. Bull crap. Okay, here we go. I'm going to continue with this show. Just...
Are you going to play the chat?
I don't like the look of these messages, by the way. Naming convention is no bueno.
Okay.
So I've noticed that there are clips being played on Twitter and on Fox News about Tampon Tim having a stand-up comedy act now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who in their right mind would buy a ticket to go watch that Liberace wannabe on stage? I mean, what the hell? I find nothing that he does or says remotely interesting, and here are people laughing and applauding for this moron. What's going on here? What is this world coming to that this fruit has a comedy routine?
I don't know what fruit means.
That is wild, actually, that there's people
Is
in
he
a
actually
room
out
while
there,
he's
like-
talking. That's when he's talking about the Tesla stock dropping. He's like on a stage, right? Who's in the audience for that? Who goes to see Tim Walz talk? Like, I don't understand. Which, by the way, if you're Tim Walz, like, should you be insulting the stock of anybody's company? Like, how's the stock of his companies doing?
Well, yeah. And also,
I mean, this is not a gay thing. I'm saying, like, gay people have started companies. I'm just saying, like, that Elon Musk is out here starting companies, and it's not just Tesla, and it's not just Starlink, and it's not just the SpaceX stuff, and it's the Boring Company. It's all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The guys, I don't care how much you tell me, like, oh, well, his grades were average in school, or whatever stupid bleep. You know, he's one of the most accomplished people who's doing the most for humanity at this moment in time.
Right, like,
right
it's
now,
all the-
like, if you're dissing him because his stock fell a few points, while you're out here
Yeah,
not...
and I've had a lot of people say that to me too, like calling on the air and saying like, oh, he didn't invent or create any one of these. It's like,
Yeah, who gives a shit?
yeah.
He's got the company with the stock price to have.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, like, do you hear yourselves?
Right. Well, no, it's like, it's the wrong shot to take, but this is part of the hysteria thing that people are taking in. And it's like saying like that in 1997, we know one thing about Tom Shattuck, and that was that he was definitely at 11 o'clock at night in the sack with a strange, beautiful woman, and certainly not at 7-Eleven scarfing down nachos outside in dry heaving. It's like, okay, you can hold a lot of things against me, but you can. I was eating nachos at 11 p.m. in 1997 outside of 7-Eleven. That's one thing that you can't take away from me. Of course, I'm married to an AI robot now, and she doesn't understand anything. Okay, here we go.
Can I?
Yeah.
Do one more quick topic before we move off this, because
Sure.
there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about, which is that you've seen that the Olympics have been in this fight with Trump about letting men play women's sports when they come to LA in 2028, I think, right? Is that the year they're coming to LA? Trump doesn't want to let them, right? So, but the IOC has been fighting it because they want to let Imani Khalif beat up women.
Yep.
And it's like so insane because today they elected a new Olympics IOC president. And the previous IOC Olympics president, there was one candidate who was not for men playing women's sports, and he did not win. He came in third. So that tells you where the IOC is. But I'm going to resend you this link of the current. Can I just send you this really quick? The current IOC president and his take on Imani Khalif, because it's another one of these things where they act like you're insane.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's be very clear here. We are talking about women's boxing. And we have two boxers who are born as women, who have been raised as women, who have a passport as a woman, and who have competed for many years as women. And this is the clear definition of a woman. And there was never any doubt about them being a woman. What we see now is that some want to own the definition of who is a woman. And there I can only invite them to come up with a scientific-based, a new definition of who is a woman, and how can somebody being born, raised, competed, and having a passport as a woman cannot be considered a woman. If they are coming up with something, we are ready to listen. We are
So it's the current president. The
You
candidate.
think they're ready to listen?
No.
Right.
The candidate that he endorsed, by the way, one, who is the first woman and the first African president of the IOC. I'm going to send you a quick picture of her so you can see what they mean by first African president of the IOC. But she's a candidate endorsed by him. So she's not going to do anything to save women's sports. The guy who was going to save women's sports lost, but whatever. It's just funny to me because the entire thing is such a farce. And they're like, well, this is a person who was assigned female at birth. What do you want? You guys are the ones who want to go by what people are assigned at birth. Like, you guys just made up this assigned female at birth thing.
Right.
It's not based on what the doctor sees what you're when you're born. Right? So here's, I'm going to send this to you. This is the first African president of the IOC that I'm going to send you right here. She's Zimbabwean.
Okay. Oh.
And a swimmer. She's a natural blonde, if you're wondering. In
Yes,
the chat.
yes,
She's the first African.
Yes, she's an Aryan African. So.
I mean, so the first Zimbabwean to be elected to president of the IOC. So that's great. Anyway, no definitions mean anything anymore. But the idea that they're like, well, Amani Khalif was assigned female at birth. Like,
we've been doing this forever. We've been pretending forever. So if you,
I mean,
as a woman,
Amani Khalif, not to put too fine a point on it, was not born a woman. Amani Khalif was born a man with a disorder that made his genitals look weird when he was born, which
Right.
is sad for him as a person, especially living in an effed up loser Stone Age country where they attach a lot of importance to that and think it means something.
right?
And that sucks for him, but he's a man.
Correct.
He's a man with a disorder in how his genitals appear, which is sad for him, but he's not a woman. Like, it's the most clear-cut case. And it's funny, they're like, well, Amani Khalif isn't even trans. Like, well, I mean, nobody's saying, none of this is about trans people playing sports. This is about men playing women's sports. The trans people only come into it because trans women are actually men. And we don't want men playing women's sports. Amani Khalif is not trans, but Amani Khalif is a man.
True.
Like-
but also, so this is what's happening here. We're beginning our final descent.
You are beginning your final decision.
Well, no, because you've been in the chat, so now you're just
I'm
hitting
just
your
fine.
stride.
Well, that's fine. You know what? You wind down, play the chat, and
I'm just saying
you know,
that
it's your
we're at
bedtime.
45. We're at 45 minutes, and I understand you're now getting into Amani Khalif, but we're now beginning our descent.
Okay.
So the
that's fine,
seatbelt
that's fine.
signs are back on.
Okay, so just play the chat. It's
Don't
fine.
tell me anything
Nobody-
more.
No.
We're gonna do the chat. There's gonna be a lot of content there. There already has been. What are you looking at back there? Oh,
People don't like
dickhead.
all that things hanging behind me.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are not operable anymore. Not operatable.
It's Tom's weird strings of lights.
It's not weird strings of light,
Yeah.
dinklehead.
Mm-hmm.
I want a real light stuff, and you said we couldn't get it.
When you guys were talking about corporate speak and all those
Yes.
buzzwords and everything,
Double click.
we have a new head of our company. He's not the CEO because they won't give him that title. I may have mentioned this before, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating, but I just can't stand this guy. He will approach someone and he'll say to them, or at a work function, and he'll say, "So, if I were to come to your house, what would you cook me for dinner and why?"
Oh.
I was in this meeting one time where they had everybody introduce themselves. It was like a 1-hour meeting, and we took 45 minutes of the meeting of everybody introducing themselves, and you were supposed to say what cartoon character you would be.
No. I was in orientation in 1997 at the Parker House Hotel, and me and this other hire her name was Amy something, and they said, "Okay, guys, it's orientation, so whatever, it's human resources." And they said, "Okay, guys, now I want you to think of something. Look at the person next to you, and think of a name that starts with the same letter as their first name and what you might be." And they're like, "Okay, Amy, tell Tom what he might be." And she said, "Tom Terrific." And they said, "Okay, Tom, not telling me what she might be." And I said, "Amy Awesome." And I've never before wanted to fashion a noose more in my life, and just freaking, and I think she wanted to too. It's like, okay, it's not worth living anymore. It's not, I would rather just, I wish I'd just been trans. I wouldn't have had to deal with that. That was the 90s version of trans.
Or he'll say, "If you were able to have
If somebody you work with says, if I came over your house, what yada yada, what we cook, whatever, then the proper response is to brain him to death with a stapler until and then eat his brain. That is the proper.
By the
thing.
way, I got my second lifetime plexiglass award from work this week. So
Don't bring up work in plexiglass awards, Alice, because we need this job.
I like plexiglass awards. They make me happy. I like plexiglass boards. I think they're cool, and I'm putting it on my desk. It makes me happy.
Dead. Who would you choose and why? Like, this is coming from whatever management,
Hold on.
online management courses he's been taking, and he's
Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go.
dinner with 3 people, alive or dead. Who would you choose and why? Like, this is coming from whatever management, online management courses he's been taking, and he's just the biggest drip. Like, I don't know where he thinks he's improving or getting it, it's just, it grinds my stomach.
Yeah, he should be fed into a tree shredder. Oh, there's no doubt about that. That is absolutely horrific.
Hey guys, John the car.
Hey, John.
Worse than we need to double click on that, or we need to be clear-eyed, or top of mind.
Yep.
Worse than that is breaking into very phonetic Spanish to say migrants are welcome in the middle of a speech. What a douche. That is so smug, and I'm so much more educated than you.
Totally.
Oh, see you next Tuesday. She is the worst.
It's Michelle Wu. That's so disgusting. And I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I used to think that now that we have to get rid of the 19th Amendment, so women can't vote. I also think that women shouldn't be citizens whatsoever and should be enslaved. As a matter of fact, I'm back.
The chat is back to band names for you.
Fuck you. I mean, sorry.
Earth, Wind, and Waffles.
Not awesome.
Saturated Fats Domino.
There's no way you effers thought of that. That is too good. My father saw him in concert, by the way. He wasn't fat.
Not Slim Shady.
F you.
Cool in the Guacamole. I don't know if I think that. Fleetwood Big Mac. I like that one.
Not bad. Not bad. They didn't think of this shit. These people, the freaking Second City players here are...
Trish says, you too can eat pasta over the sink.
Fuck you, Trish. Oh my God, dude. You too can eat pasta over the sink. That is, of course, freaking brilliant. But the nuclear option? There's no way they thought of that. There's no way, because if they did, Alice, then we should skip the rest of the show and just make this about the chat, because the chat is brilliant. There's no way. I've met these people in person. They're not that smart. There's no way. F you. God damn you. You too can eat pasta. Jesus Christ. Fuckers.
Tom, I'm going to defend you. I was looking into it, and it turns out the Rolling Stones' first choice for a band name was the Rolling Saxophones.
Correct.
You are the ultimate audio imp.
Incorrect.
The nitwit from Newburyport.
No.
What's next? You're going to tell us that The Edge has been playing the kazoo all these years for you, too? My God. Zero credibility.
Incorrect.
Keep it up.
Incorrect. The Edge, by the way, an innovator. Not a great guitar.
Splash says Bruce Springsteen in the Eat Street Band.
There's no. This doesn't exist, Alice. This is not happening. I am high right now on LSD, and these are pieces of, you know what this is? These are raindrops that are falling outside that to me seem genius and brilliant. There's no way that this crew thought of this whole time. They're a comedy troupe that's like...
I don't get this one, but other people are laughing at it. Midnight Tinfoil?
Yeah. It's Midnight Oil.
Oh.
But I don't get tinfoil.
Because that's what you reheat leftovers.
I guess. That is true. It's a little deep cut. And actually, it's not... And it would happen at midnight, too. There's no way... That's not funny, Alice, by the way. I'm being made sport of here.
Sorry, it's not.
I don't fit in my bluey t-shirt
Trish
anymore.
is best on. Saran wrap.
Shut up, dickhead.
Sorry.
I had to move this camera up. Why?
Because I'm fat.
That's right, okay? Go after her.
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
I'm loving these Tom Analyzes Music
Thank you.
segments that you're doing, for better or for worse.
Thank you.
It's kind of like those Roast Me videos. Do One Headlight by the Wallflowers next. Go.
One headlight. That is Bob Marley's. No, that is Bob Dylan's kid. But I don't think that. I think it's not a great song. It's a fine song. They went. The bad thing is being Bob Dylan's kid is that Dylan himself sucks in many ways. And everybody who did, it's funny because like everybody who covered Dylan corrected his songs. You know, his like like sucked, but then like Hendrix got a hold of it and other people got a hold of it and made it good. His like many the answer, my friend, like written in the wind, like his version blew. But so there you go. But other people corrected him. He's not great though. And I was told also in the 90s, like, man, he went to Newport and got an electric guitar and everybody was blown up. Shut the it's all bullshit.
Tom, you must have worked at a movie theater
Did not.
your childhood because you're the biggest projectionist I've ever heard.
That is incorrect. My friend, though, Jeff Murphy, who lived in my dead-end street. It was me, Murph, Keith, and Dean. Murph is like a big, high-rolling movie theater manager guy.
Claiming that Steve from Merrimack and possibly me have used the term in the corporate world, double click when you want to drill down into something.
Totally.
For myself, I can absolutely confirm I've never used it in that context.
Yes,
Not only
you
that, I've yet to hear anybody say it.
Oh, my work says that all the time. All the time. If we double click on that result, then what we find is
gross.
yeah. Oh no, all the time.
Oh.
Well, we double click on things a lot. You probably don't because you're probably just looking at a surface level.
No, I just right click still. I'm a mouse guy.
Hear anybody say it.
Yeah.
My speculation is you're at one of your furry conventions and you mistook double dick for double click.
That is,
either
I
way,
don't even know
it
what
worked
that
the
means.
same way in the end, didn't it, buddy?
No, incorrect. Incorrect. And I've not been to one of those conventions. I actually don't find furries attractive. It's interesting because like a lot of the furry women are probably attractive, but if you're dressed like a pink raccoon, it's hard to work with. I'm not generally into animals. Generally.
The Tommy's Tales report, the 1991 job search story came in at a 70% believable rate.
Thank you.
A 25% exaggerated rate.
Nope.
And a 5% make-believe rate.
Manpower.
Tom, do you agree or disagree with these percentages?
I disagree. It was manpower, yep. In Hickey Freeman, I think, the World Trade Center in Woburn, which used to have a big Santa's Bazaar, which was great. Oh, the greatest thing in the world, 1980 and then 5.
Is that one, or are we talking about the one where you were in California?
No, I think he's talking about 91. Well, I didn't get to California until
You did, but I mean, you talked about it on the show.
Well, yeah. But that's I think it was manpower and that stuff. That's what got me the money to go to California, where I really landed there in 92.
Okay.
It's like the worst non-important part of a non-biography in the world. Doesn't really matter. It's like I didn't discover anything in California other than I did discover stuff in California. That I wasn't a very good stoner. The one woman who was interested in me.
Did you surf?
I did not. Oh, I didn't surf, but I did. Oh, this is awful. I did show up. My friend said this dude, like who I worked with, they were all like cool, like what's up? They're stoked. They're all surfer dudes, and all the girls who hung out with them were gorgeous. They all liked me because the dudes liked me. And I went there, and we all went like for the first like beach day of the year, and I took my clothes off, my shirt off, and there was nothing like it on Newport Beach, California. The fat, pale, fat, huge, primary roll, side bellies, breasts, no shoulder muscle, nothing. Like nobody had ever seen it. And I had to talk to these girls who were hot and have normal conversations with them and not be horrified. I mean, it was horrific. to talk, and they were sweet.
They don't have any fat people in California.
Not
I guess
like
not
that.
fat white people.
Did not like that. No, they didn't have any. They had nothing like that, and especially my like style sense was. It was horrific. I still think about that. That and the time that in Winchester I played soccer, and in like '85 or whatever, and they made us be skins, shirts and skins, and I was skins, and my fat just bounced around, and like I get hit with the soccer ball, and it made a red welt on my fat. I look like the volleyball from the movie where he's stranded on the island, Wilson. It looked
With
like
the basketball or volleyball or whatever.
Yeah. Actually,
Castaway.
all this stuff is coming back. That is not. I should never be shirtless. You know I'm not shirtless, right? Have you ever seen me shirtless?
Yes.
You have? It must have been non-consensual. There's no way I would have done it. I apologize for that,
I'm
Alice.
with you all the time, shirtless.
I look at my sons and like look at their physique and like, man, I would kill.
That's gay. Don't say that.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying I'd kill this. Alice, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, imagine that they're like ripped and like thin and like.
I look at my sons and they're ripped, thin physique. Like, no, don't be weird.
I'm not being weird, but I look like you guys are like. You're normal human. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but like I'm 40. I'm fatter than our teenage daughter. I would never say that about her. I look at our daughter's physique, her skinny. Like, that's different. Alice,
you're
weird.
ruined now. You're old now.
I know.
I'm talking about like when I was a kid. Like, don't. Okay.
Don't be weird.
I'm not weird, dickhead. I'm not saying I'm lusting after dickhead. Obviously, there's nothing. There's nothing further from it. I'm just saying you've. Jesus, is this even a show? Are we on?
How about that school where the girls in the locker room were uncomfortable changing in front of the trans student?
Correct.
And was it the vice principal or principal stood in the doorway so they couldn't leave? Did you hear about that story? How quickly would you have pulled Sally out of the school she's in if that happened to her? You know, it's funny. Liberals never think, oh, well, if that ever happened to my kid, I would do A, B, or C. No, they don't. They believe it's other people.
Yep.
And as long as it's other people and it doesn't affect them, they can have their wild ideas about how life is supposed to work. It's just insanity. Also, Alice, would you please make an appointment to get Tom's hearing checked? Because he's now dying on this hill that Brian Jones played a saxophone on a song that is most notable for its guitar riff.
No.
Steve from Merrimack reference with the yelling. I love it. Tom, guitar riff at the beginning of that song.
It's not, dude. Listen to it.
Written by Keith Richards.
No.
On a tape recorder when he woke up in the middle of the night and he played the riff. And then he went back to sleep. You don't know anything about that story.
Incorrect.
For the love of Pete.
Incorrect. That is absolutely and totally false. That is incorrect. By the way, for those of you listening for free who aren't on Patreon tonight, those of you who have just drifted in and joined us, the shows are really much more usually disciplined.
That's not true.
Some are occasionally, and I'm sorry to that Alice was just was unhinged totally tonight. And it'll get better.
I'm sorry.
I promise. And by the way, Patreon folks, there should be a fix for the notifications of when this is going live. Alice, hello?
Yes, I put that in the chat.
Whatever you're engrossed in, what are you doing right now?
I'm looking up the Wikipedia about satisfaction.
Dude, this is not the sound. It's not the sound of a guitar. Unsatisfaction. It's not. You can say it is, but it's not.
According to authors Andy Bamian and Greg Provost, Mick Jagger vocals, harmonica, Keith Richards backing vocals, fuzz guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar.
That is a
this
sax
doesn't
and then foam.
Say saxophone.
Yeah. Okay. As long as I know it, that's all that matters, Alice.
I mean, I don't see anything in this Wikipedia article that says that, but I don't know. I'm just...
From the mind of Mindy Kaling.
I'm sorry everyone said these things about you, honey. It's my fault.
Oh my God, Owen!
If you want to join us for the live chat every day, that's at patreon.com/burnbarrel. There's also some extra content there each week on Sundays. If you want to listen to the show for free, burnbarrelpodcast.com has links.
2 more hogs got the fever.